So I have a story. Be with me here. So here.
I'm with you.
Okay. So here's the thing. So we started as friends.
Started up.
Dang it, you did. I was gonna get my story. I was gonna do it until you guys got the lyric.
Oh.
It's fine. No, but
I need the queen of lyrics. Oh my gosh.
It's true. She like didn't need. Every time I say, all right, let's go, she's like, there's gonna be one less song. I'm like, and I say that a lot.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, let's go. And then she's like, there's gonna be one. So, anyway, no, I do have a fun story, kind of, in case that failed, because it did. I was literally just gonna read or like say the lyrics.
It worked. Because you got me to do it.
No, I mean, I was like gonna be like trying to tell it like an actual story.
Okay.
Until you guys like were like, wait a second.
What was it that you started off with?
Like, so here's the thing, we started as friends, and then you're like,
Started off friends.
yeah, it was cool, but it was all pretend. Yeah, I was gonna be like, it was cool, but like it was all pretend. Like I was gonna say like it's a story, and then be like, for you to be like,
It's like, Kim, it's like those country songs that I send you where they put it into like a short story.
yes,
Like, do you know the song Goodbye Earl?
no,
So
oh, yes.
It starts off as like, Marianne and Wanda were the best of friends. And so they take this song and they put it into like a crime.
Like a true crime.
Like a true crime.
Oh my gosh,
like
that's
real.
awesome.
And it's so funny because it's like a narrator voice and she's like, Marianne and Wanda were the best of friends. And then it like pans to Wanda and then she like says the next lyrics. That's like, in like, it's so perfect.
I'll have to show it to you. It is so funny. You sent that to me a while ago.
Yeah, I sent that to Tiff too, and we were dying because
I thought that was so clever.
For whatever reason, that was our jam. It's like this song about
them killing someone.
Yeah. It's about this song about these two friends, and one of them marries this guy named Earl who abuses her, and then they get together and kill him. And that's what the song's about. We used to just like jam hard. We're like 12 years old.
We're like, all right for like murder.
You're like goodbye, Earl.
Yeah.
Like, because that's what it's saying. Like, goodbye, Earl, as in he's gone. So
Nice.
We'll have to send it to you later. But yeah.
Love it.
No, that's what I was trying to do, something like that, and then I was like, but Heidi.
Sorry, I'm too good.
we should recreate a song like Riptide, something crazy like Riptide, where it has like like nonsensical lyrics, and we'll just like make a music video.
Yes.
That would be funny.
Yes, we should. Adding that to the ideas folder.
Wow, my nose is just itchy. I'm just like.
All right,
Like a
so.
little DJ over here.
Like, oh, sorry, that was just me rubbing my nose.
She like drops the beat.
Drop the bass. Anyway. No, I was just going to talk about my story Ubering from the San Diego airport to the middle of freaking nowhere, San Diego.
Okay.
And then being at this wedding. So I was in Vegas for a photographer's conference, but that same weekend, one of my friends from high school got married. And so I flew from here to Vegas, and then the next day from Vegas to San Diego, and then had to Uber from the San Diego airport to Alpine, California, which is literally on this mountain. So we're in the middle of nowhere. The Uber driver has like a sedan, and it's like there's a point where it's not road anymore. It's all gravel. So he's like freaking out. He's like, "Can you walk from here?" I was like, "I don't know where we're at." I was like looking at the map. I was like, "It says we're like 5 minutes away, like driving." So I was like,
"Ooh, yeah."
So anyway, I at the wedding for a few hours. I actually had to leave a little bit early, which was fine. And I called. I used the app, and I was calling an Uber driver, and like there was someone coming. I was like, great. This was at 6:15 p.m. I started calling the Uber driver, and then at 6:30 they canceled. So I was like, okay, can we try another one? Right after I like sent it and I got the notification that I got a driver, they canceled. So I was like stressed because I'm over here like I have to make it home or not make it to Vegas tonight because tomorrow's the conferences and stuff. And so anyway, I was so stressed out, and so I told myself, okay, if someone else cancels, then I'm going to message them. Or before someone cancels, I'll message them. Another girl signs up for the ride, and then she cancels before I, like, finish entering the message.
My goodness.
So I was stressed. I start, like, hyperventilating. And then my friends, Kelsey and Ian, shout out to them, were like, well, you can stay at our Airbnb. Like, we have, like, an extra room. Like, if you don't care about, like, crashing with a married couple. And I was like, no, I mean, if it comes down to it, like, I would appreciate it. That's really nice of you guys. And so anyway, this guy signs on, and, like, he is, like, he's, like, 10 minutes away on another side of the mountain where there's an Indian reservation, like a Native American reservation. And I guess there's casinos there, and that's where he was at. And so anyway, I, like, messaged him through the app. I'm like, please, 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 I will tip you so well. I need to go to Vegas. I need to make my flight. Because at that point, it was, like, 7:30. And and the airport was an hour away. And my flight was leaving at 9:30. And so I was like, okay, I have to, like, the San Diego airport's kind of big. But anyway, I was freaking out. And then he decides, like, okay, I'm going to come. Also in a sedan. Also, like, stressed out about the gravel, asked me to come to him, but then I'm like, I don't know where you are. Like, it's dark outside. Like, I don't know where you are. And so anyway, he finds me. I get in the car, and then the whole, like, first 20 minutes of the ride, he's quiet. I know he's mad. Because I would be, too, if I had to go in the freaking middle of nowhere, California.
But that's his job.
Right. But then so anyway, like, after 20 minutes of silence, I cannot deal with silence in the car. So I was like, and I don't have my AirPods. So I was like, I need to do something about this. And so I talked to him like, by the way, I am so appreciative to you. And he's like, And I was like, no, really. Like, you're the fourth or fifth driver that, like, I had to, like, do this. And he was like, no, I figured when I saw your message that you were desperate. I literally was going to cancel it, but then your message came through. And I was like, man, she's desperate. So, and then he's like, and I thought, if I don't accept this, she's not, and no one's going to take her. And so I was like, yeah, I appreciate it. He's like, yeah, I mean, I was 10 minutes away, so I thought, fine, I'll do it. And so anyway, he and I were talking, and then he was like, what time's your flight at? And I was like, 9:30. He's like, oh, okay, he's like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to, like, speed too much because I don't want to get, like, pulled over. But, like, I'll try to get you there before an hour, like, hits. And I was like, okay. In California, traffic is horrendous. So I was really stressed. But anyway, made it there. And he was actually really nice. And he told me that he was 57 years old, which he looked like our age, by the way. And I was like, I literally was like, no, you're not. And he was like, no, yeah, I have a grandson. And I was like, no, you don't. And he was like, no, I'll show you a picture when I park. And I was like, okay. And so anyway, shout out to him. I do not remember his name. I think it was Warb or something. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Warb.
I'm going to name my middle child Warb.
I literally was like, you're so nice for coming all this way. But anyway, yeah, so that's my little backup story to the Since You've Been Gone story.
Oh, man. Airport rides are just so stressful. No matter
Airport rides?
Yeah, no. Rides to the airport.
I know. No, because you told me. No,
we should have that in, like, the waiting area. And you're just, like, actually, I saw my friend just traveled to Spain recently, and they have, like, playgrounds in airports for kids when you're, like,
that's incredible.
Layovers. I was like, that is so smart. Why don't they have, like, big people playgrounds? Like roller coasters or something.
Yeah, like
it's like the Mall of America, but airport style.
Yeah, airport rides. They're just stress.
They're just stress.
Well, have I told you? I don't know. I think I've told you, but Kim, did I ever tell you about my ride taking this girl named Becky to the Chicago?
Yes, you did. Where it's like all uphill, or there's this part. No, is that the story?
No. So basically, there's this girl. We don't know her. Okay, she's a friend of a friend.
Right.
She comes to stay with us. We're in Chicago at the time, and she needed to get some paperwork done. She's from New Zealand, and she needed some paperwork done so she could, like, stay somewhere in the U.S. to do. She was in college. And so we're like, okay, whatever. So she stayed with us for like a week. And actually, she was freaking cool and so funny. But anyway, I drive her into Chicago, which is like an hour and a half. And then we get her paperwork. And then there's traffic. I mean, it's Chicago, so there's traffic anyway. But it was insane. And we were, like, running out of time to get her to the airport. And so I'm, like, going as fast as I can, but I was so stressed. And she was like, your indicator, like, cause, these funny words, and she's like, "Your indicator," and I'm just so stressed, and we were like laughing, crying, like somebody probably thought we were like high because we were just crazy, and we were just so stressed. And then we were literally pulling up to the airport when her flight was supposed to leave, and then I was like, you know what? I'll just circle back around to come pick you up. But I was like, just go check, just in case. She messages me like 2 minutes later, and she's like, the flight got delayed. I'm on. I'm like, it was crazy. Like, seriously.
Wow, that's a miracle.
It was so stressful just the whole time. I just remember we were just crazy. And I just remember her just funny, indicator. They didn't even use their indicator. And I'm like, I know.
Me here in
right?
Utah.
I know.
I'm going to start saying that.
The indicator. I mean,
Whatever
honestly,
the New Zealand
indicator
accent
makes way more sense than blinker, though.
But it blinks.
But it's used to indicate where
Blinker's
you're going.
like the kindergarten level of explaining
Yeah.
it. And then there's turn signal, and then there's
As
God
far as
tier,
I'm
which is
concerned-
indicator.
I'm pretty.
She's short
brain sneeze. I was like, my brain is like short circuit. I don't even know what I was gonna say. All right, I'll say something for you. As far as I'm concerned, I forgot what I was gonna say. No,
As far as I'm concerned, blinker and an indicator are synonymous, so it doesn't
no. I was gonna say, look, I'm usually really picky about like the Brits and how they speak.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of things they say are stupid.
Yeah.
But that one I actually agree with. So that's all I
I
have
just think
to
it
say.
sounds cool. I'm going to start saying it.
The indicator.
Yeah.
All right.
I love people from New Zealand, though. Shout out to Kiwis.
Oh, they're so funny.
That's what they call themselves.
Sweet as.
Sweet as.
Okay,
Sweet
I legit
as.
didn't know that was a thing. And then when she was like hanging out with us, I thought she was saying like
The other word.
yeah. I was like, I was just saying like,
Oh,
oh,
you should laugh for
I
that.
know. I was like, and then I finally realized what she was saying. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah,
it
my
was
mission
funny.
companion, the first time she said sweet as, I was like, what did you just say? She's like, oh, sorry, that's a New Zealand thing. I'm like, to just throw that word around? And she's like, no, like good as, sweet as, awesome as. Like you can put any adjective before
It's
the
like
word.
like a simile or something.
Probably, I don't know. She kind of explained it, but I don't remember.
It's just like, yeah.
Oh, like cool. Oh, sweet
yeah.
as.
It's kind of like,
Sweet
yeah.
as. Got it.
Yeah, they say that.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
yeah, shout out to Becky, man. She was
shout
so
out
funny.
to Becky.
It was really funny though because she like randomly would appear in our life. Like a few months after that, she needed a ride from the airport to like a friend's house in Utah, and like she didn't have anybody, and somehow I figured out she needed a ride, and so literally my friends went and picked her up. She stayed at Tiff's house.
Oh.
And then they drove her back to the airport like the next morning. She left her coat. So then the coat ends up with me. Then like a year later,
remember
she
this.
shows up at the Bradshaw's and is like, hey, can I get my coat? Like a year later.
Still wants to go, man.
Probably
It's just
expensive.
so funny. And she brought us like chocolate from New Zealand. Yeah, it was
Oh.
good. It's just so funny. It was just like this random.
There's
I
good
don't know.
It's
people.
like a book. It should be a book.
Have you guys seen what's that New Zealand movie that's super weird? The Hunt of the Wilder
Oh, the
People.
yeah.
Something.
Hunt
I
for
have
the
no
Wilder People.
idea.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that movie's so weird, but watching it with her was so funny.
I cannot watch that unless I'm delusional. Because it's not funny until I'm like totally just off my rocker, just totally tired. And then everything's hilarious. But it's just one of those movies. Same like Nacho Libre and the other one.
Honestly, I think I liked it because
What's it called?
which one? Napoleon Dynamite.
Napoleon
Yeah.
Dynamite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't watch that movie unless
I
I'm in a specific
Don't
mood.
like that.
No, I think I liked that movie simply because I watched it in the presence of a New Zealander, and I was like, I can't like bash on it, you know. So then I was just like laughing. I was like, what is this? And but then she started making fun of it, and so then we were just laughing because she was just like, this is. I don't know. She was hilarious, and her accent just made everything better.
Oh,
Anyways,
yeah.
this is like a
Sweet
I love
ass.
that. I love that.
sweet ass.
Sweet ass.
Hey everybody, you're listening to Discussions with Heidi, Nat, and Kim.
We're three sisters who talk about anything and everything while playing trivia.
We can't promise we'll always stay on topic, but we can promise we'll always be safe for work. Thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoyed today's episode.
Okay, so So today's episode, after that long introduction, we are talking about the MBTI tests, like personality tests. If you haven't taken one, they're actually really cool, just to kind of see kind of what your whole personality is about and put it into words. Because you could be like, oh yeah, I'm like this, but they actually say like, nope, you're like this, and you're like, oh, that makes perfect sense, honestly.
Oh, it's been a while since I've taken one, but I took one yesterday or whatever, and then I was reading the stuff, and I was seriously like,
I know, like, stop it.
like, who
Very
crawled
accurate.
into my head and is like frantically typing as I'm reading like my thoughts, you know?
No, I think it's very interesting. I think it's probably one of the most accurate personality tests out there. I mean, there's also the Enneagram test, which I don't know if you guys have done that one, which is the number. Like you can be like a 6W7, like 6 wing 7, which is a combination of 2 personalities, or you can just be a solid, like, I'm an 8, in case you wanted to know.
I did.
Yeah.
I
So,
actually looked it up though. The test we took, the MBTI, is like number 4 or something as far as
Accurate.
like personality
Accuracy.
tests that they say are like pretty good.
what's number 1?
It was someone I hadn't heard of, and then I think Enneagram was like number 2, and then I don't remember number 3.
Anyway, well, the website that we got it from is the 16 personalities test.
I think that's the official website. That's why I picked that one.
Yeah. So if you go into the 16 personalities test and then you just like take the test, you can take it for free. Of course, you have to put in your email to get your results, but it's like worth it. They don't send you like any spam or anything, as far as I know, because I took it a couple months ago. So it's pretty accurate. And it's, yeah, like she was saying, it's kind of scary accurate. I made Wes take it, and he was texting me. He's like, oh my gosh, this is so accurate. And it just makes me laugh because he was like so into it.
I just took it today again.
Colton literally like texted me like a section of like the description and was like, oh my gosh, like this is so accurate. Like he literally was like just picking parts out of it. Yeah.
No, literally Jeff in our little Discord group chat with our friends, because I made them all take it too. I kind of made everyone take it on my Instagram. So if you followed me on Instagram, on my personal Instagram, I was like, what's your MBTI? I hid the story from you guys to make sure you guys wouldn't see it. Because I was like, oops, I put which one I am. I didn't want you guys to see it because we're trying to keep it a secret. But yeah, Jeff just sends like a ton of screenshots and then starts a whole like personal thread on his personality. He's like, wow, this is surprisingly accurate. And I was like, yeah, it is. I read it.
A personal thread. Got it. Nice. Anyway, so what we're going to do with our MBTI test is we are going to guess each other's
first.
I guess, and see if we can be as accurate as we can. And then once we know everybody's, then we're going to go in and we're going to talk about just like fun, cool stuff that we learned about ourselves, and then possibly talk about our significant others' MBTI test after we do
Our
Just like
trivia.
Perfect.
All right. Who wants to go first?
I got it. It's right here.
All right.
Okay. What dog's sense of smell can be used in court?
Like
Okay,
what
like
breed?
the dog breed.
The dog breed.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
They like banned certain breeds from.
I guess this is the only like
Wait, that they-
accurate smell
That they can't, or they,
So, like,
they
we're
that
can.
talking-
can
Oh, I think I know
be
this
used
one.
in court.
I think I know which one, but go ahead. Read the options.
German Shepherd, Bloodhound, Basenji, or Dalmatian.
Bloodhound. Has to be. I was going to say Beagle, but that's not on the list. I've seen Beagles at the airport.
I mean, Bloodhound sounds right, but I feel like, and this is purely just based on TV, but I always see like the little German shepherds in their
know.
police uniforms.
I know, they're
like,
so cute.
sniffing
They're,
things out.
they are cops. That's true. And I'm going to go Bloodhound. You go. I'll go Bloodhound. You go
yeah,
German
alright,
Shepherd.
alright.
All right.
It's Bloodhound.
No! Yeah, I was going to say, it's either
Bloodhound.
Bloodhound or Beagle.
What does a Bloodhound even look like? I don't even.
It looks like a beagle.
Oh,
I'll show you.
cute little droopy ears.
yeah,
Oh,
we see.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
They
Anybody
got
wants
some
to
big
know?
snozzles. Yeah.
Yeah, they got like it's like the one dog from Fox and the Hound.
Oh, yeah. He's a
Oh, yeah,
Bloodhound, I
yeah.
think.
He's a bloodhound.
Yeah.
Copper.
Yeah, Copper.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
look how cute the beagle is.
Oh, I love beagles.
But actually, the Senjis are like probably a dog I want to get. They're like hairless, not hairless. They're like they don't bark. I guess they yodel. That's they say. So like they don't
yodel?
bark, so they're quiet and they're small and they're just like energetic and like cute little things. And one of my old coworkers just bought one when I was there, and his wife brought the dog in, and it was the cutest little thing. He was just so like cuddly, and I just want one.
I want an English bulldog. So cute. Their faces are just all scrunched up. I love that.
When he's like they can barely see.
Yeah, I
Like,
love
so
that.
much,
I
little
love that.
scrunchies.
I mean, but I come from a beagle family. I mean, you guys come from a family of
Miniature schnauzers.
miniature schnauzers. My family, it's beagles, and so I
Beagles are
kind of.
so- I just feel like I don't know if I can ever own a beagle. I love beagles, but I'm honestly just emotionally scarred from Shiloh. So
That's fair. There's a lot of use of beagles in movies that I'm just like, why are they always sad? Anyway,
Like where the Redford and Groves.
yeah, or
that's
basset hounds.
Yeah, those are
but
beagles.
they're kind of
Yeah. Anyway.
along the same family.
Alright,
cool.
All right.
Okay, so we're guessing each other's first.
Yeah. Say who you think of each person is. Okay, Kim go first.
Okay,
I don't know why I almost called you Kendra.
me neither.
Kimdra.
Kimdra.
Kendra.
Okay, I'll start with Nat because Nat, I had two for you.
Oh, okay.
It could go either way. I said ISFJ or INTJ. I feel
Okay.
like I don't know. I don't have a real good reason, but like with the ISFJ, it says they're devoted caretakers who enjoy being helpful to others. I feel like that is you. You're just always willing to help, even if like you're busy. So I don't know. I just thought of you. So with Heidi, I put ENFP.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why. I think of the three of us, you are the extrovert. So.
Really?
Mhm.
All right. Natalie, you go next.
No, I'm not sure, but after that reaction.
Well, I feel like I'm cheating because I remember you guys talking about this test, and you were like, "Oh, we're like the same one."
Me and you?
No, you guys.
I don't think we are, though.
You're not the same one.
We're not the same one.
Well, I remember you saying that you're
Oh.
like one of the rare ones.
Okay.
So
Which rare one?
I don't know.
Go for it.
I'm gonna say INFJ
Okay. Why?
because it's the rarest one.
Okay.
All right. Solid.
No, and I can see it because you like, especially like with your job, like you're always wanting to like uplift others, and that's like that one a lot.
That's true.
So
That's true.
with Heidi, I honestly don't know.
You don't know mine?
Just guess.
Let me look at some.
I was too.
I said ENFP. It says enthusiastic, creative, spontaneous, optimistic, supportive, playful, value inspiration, enjoy starting new projects, see potential in others. Yeah. I was like, that's
I
got.
think I have all those qualities.
Yeah. I was thinking that of all the extroverted ones, I was like, that fits you probably the most.
The best, yeah.
No, I think she's probably an introverted one. I just don't know which one. Hold on.
Yeah, I know. After her reaction, because Heidi wears her emotions on her face, I'm thinking that none of us are extroverts now. So,
You're not an expert either?
Oh,
Oh, mine's wrong then.
all right, what do you think I was though? I'm curious.
Okay, I had you, Kim, at ENTJ.
ENTJ. Let me read what that
ENTJ.
says. Strategic, logical, efficient, outgoing, ambitious, independent, effective organizers of people, and long-range planners. Okay, well, all those are true except for logical. So, because
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like between me and Jeff, he's the more logical.
Or there was another one that I
one.
had screenshotted. Let me see. I think I also put you as ENFP.
Oh, that's the one I gave to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is where is it? Oh yeah, the one that you just read it. So
what about like an ISFJ? 3.
Ooh.
ISFJ,
The defender.
The defender. I could see that too.
warm, considerate, gentle, responsible, pragmatic, thorough, devoted caretakers who enjoy being helpful to others. That is actually the closest one, but it's not that one.
INFJ.
I always like forget what I am.
Wait, which one do you think Natalie is before we
I
start
think
sharing
Natalie's
ours?
INFJ.
Okay. All right.
Am I right?
Yeah.
So am I. That's why when you sent that, I was like, it has to be that one. Because I think I mentioned in that conversation with Heidi, I was like, oh yeah, like apparently INFJ is the rarest one. But when I put it out in my story, a lot of people that follow me that responded are INFJ. So I'm like, maybe it's not as rare.
Well, again, I'm going to read this to like picture Natalie as this role, okay? Idealistic, organized, insightful, dependable, compassionate, gentle, seek harmony and cooperation, enjoy intellectual stimulation. And that actually, when I read it, I was like, this is too easy. Like, I knew that one was yours from the very beginning. So I thought that was you from the start. And then, Kim, I put you ENTJ. I think I already said it.
Yeah.
So, what are you?
INFJ.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
I knew we were the same one. I knew it. I was like,
INFJ. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Mine is ISFP.
But did you guys pull up your ISFP? Let me read that one.
Gentle, sensitive, nurturing, helpful, flexible, realistic. Seek to create a personal environment that is both beautiful and practical.
Oh. What's the name of it?
Yeah,
Because
what's the name of
INFJ is advocate.
ISFP is the adventurer.
okay.
Yeah, I can see that.
Are you INFJ A or T?
I am INFJ A, but only by like, okay, it's 51 and 49%. I'm literally like right down the middle.
Yeah, I screenshotted mine. I'm 65-35.
Okay.
Turbulent. Turbulent's I'm a T.
I'm a T too.
But with I and E, this is why I thought was interesting. Every time it's very close. I'm 52% introverted, 48% extroverted. So I could see going both ways.
Yeah.
I'm 53% introverted. So
okay. And then
that
47.
makes sense.
Yeah, because like...
Yeah. I have tendencies of being extroverted, but what kind of sets me apart from being extroverted is that I need my own space and my own time to be alone to like recharge.
Yeah.
I don't charge myself by being around others.
Yeah.
So
like that question about asking like, what do you like to do after a long weekend or a long week? You like to go to a party or like be with friends? I was like, no.
Yeah.
It takes a lot for me to want to be with
100%
friends.
sitting in my room either reading a book or watching a movie.
Mine says I'm 65% introverted.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So
yeah. So
I feel like I just always consider myself an ambivert, so that's why I was like, maybe it'll be different this time. And no, I've been INFJ since I took the test for the first time in like 2018. So I'll just take it once a year to make sure I'm still INFJ. And yeah, every
should
time
be.
I am.
I mean, I think I mentioned this when we talked about which animal would we be.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about personality tests because I took an entire college course on personality tests in
That's
my
right.
psychology degree. And yeah, basically the one thing that I learned, which is like what a personality is, and it's just like it's pretty consistent. Like the definition of a personality is it's not something that like changes very easily. It's your consistent like likes, habits, behaviors, like emotional tendencies.
I just know that when I took this test in high school and I was completely different.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I had my friends do it, and she basically, one of them got back to me right away and said that she's like, I took this test like 2 years ago, but I'll try again. And so she tried again and got a completely different result.
That's interesting.
So I was like, well,
I mean, I was still introverted, so I've known that I've been introverted for a long time. I mean, without even people telling me that, you know. But like, it's just kind of interesting that like, the older you get, sometimes those like needs and wants change, and so that's what your personality changes to, depending on what you need at the time.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty cool. But like, I think the innate like internal person, you are the same.
yeah, I agree with that. Because I feel like your emotional tendencies can change because of a specific circumstance, whether it's like, I don't know, like pre-mission Kim, just for reference, was very different from now Kim. I feel like I was very much more quiet. I did not communicate my feelings at all. Yeah, did not communicate my feelings at all. Didn't know how to process them in a healthy way. And then I feel like the mission kind of like forced me into obviously communication, because you have to do inventories with your companion, but also just like you have to talk to people. And I was actually known for that in my mission, because once I was told like, okay, you have to talk to everyone, that's what I would do. I would talk to people on the street and be like, hey, do you know who we are? Like, we're missionaries. And so anyway, so that's how I feel. But I think I agree with what Heidi said. Like, everything else, like, internally will stay the same. Yeah. I think it just stems from as early as, like, being a toddler, because I don't know. I think I can already tell that Nora's an introvert, for example.
Honestly, I think you can even tell from, it sounds weird, but from, like, the womb, honestly, because some babies are, like, they're moving around all this on, like, being crazy, and then some are just, like, perfectly happy, just staying in their ball.
Yeah, I think I told you that. Like, I can, from my experience with Nora, being pregnant with Nora, it was like, I was constantly like, because she would just, like, jab her foot, like, clear up into my rib, and I was the one that had to, like, move, because she would not move. But with Baylor, it was like, I'd be like, and he'd just, like, move. He's just like, way chill. Or he would just, like, stay in the same spot, but Nora was just constantly like kicking at me. So, like, I can totally see that.
Yeah. But then it just, like, slowly develops into something more.
Obviously, your environment probably plays a factor into it.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's always, like, genetics and, you know, environment and family and things like that change who you are. But anyway, I want to know what your guys' strengths and weaknesses are.
Yeah, I screenshotted those.
So.
Did you?
I have it pulled up.
Let's see.
So I'll go first. Mine is, some of my strengths, I'm charming. So people with the adventure personality type are relaxed and warm, and their live, let, and let live attitude naturally makes them likable and popular. So I guess that kind of brings out the introverted or extroverted side of me. I'm sensitive to others' adventures, easily relate to others' emotions, helping them to establish harmony and goodwill and minimize conflict. I'm aware of others' emotions. Let's see. I'm passionate. It says, beneath adventure's quiet shyness beats an intensely feeling heart. When people with this personality type are caught up in something exciting and interesting, they can leave everything else in the dust. Let me just finish. Let's see. And then I'm artistic. Adventurers are able to show their creativity in tangible ways and with stunning beauty. Whether writing a song, painting an emotion, or presenting a statistic in a graph, adventurers have a way of visualizing things that resonates with their audience. So, some of my weaknesses, or should we do the trivia first?
Those are your weaknesses.
Okay. I'm fiercely independent. Freedom, which...
That's true.
It makes sense.
Can confirm.
Freedom of expression is often adventurers' top priority. Anything that interferes with that, like traditions and hard rules, creates a sense of oppression for adventurer personalities. This can make more rigidly structured academics and work a challenge. Unpredictable. Adventurers dislike long-term commitments and plans. The tendency to actively avoid planning for the future can cause strain in adventurers' romantic relationships and financial hardship later in life. Easily stressed.
Yeah.
These are all of me to a T. Oh my gosh. Just wait till you get to the last one. It's
wait till you get to mine and Nat's.
Adventurers live in the present, full of emotion. When situations get out of control, people with this personality type, especially turbulent ones, which I am, can shut down, losing their characteristic charm and creativity in favor of gnashing teeth.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, how do I say this nicely? Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, say.
So, and then overly competitive. Adventurers can escalate small things into intense competitions, turning down long-term success in their search for glory in the moment, and are unhappy when they lose.
Yeah.
One more.
Yeah.
Fluctuating self-esteem. This one's kind of sad.
Oh, okay.
But like, it's demanded that skills be quantified, but that's too hard. That's hard to do with an adventurer's strengths of sensitivity and artistry. Adventurers' efforts are often dismissed. Adventurers' efforts are often dismissed, a hurtful and damaging blow, especially early in life. Adventurers can start to believe the naysayers without strong support. So, yeah, but can you believe the other one? Like, competitive, easily stressed,
that
unpredictable, fiercely independent.
That is you.
to a T. It's awesome.
Dang. Okay, I have the trivia question. if you
Okay,
guys-
go for it.
Okay, what was the most downloaded social media app in 2022? Instagram, Facebook,
TikTok.
WhatsApp, or TikTok?
TikTok.
TikTok.
Final answer?
Yeah.
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 But like 50 million
Holy
downloads.
cow.
I was like, what was new? And TikTok for
Yeah.
sure.
Nice.
I didn't know that. I thought it was going to be like WhatsApp or Instagram
Yeah.
because a lot of international people use WhatsApp. I'm
Yeah,
sure
it's
you
true.
know that.
Yeah, for sure.
To communicate with their loved ones all around the world. But yeah, so I was kind of surprised. I was like, it was like 732 million downloads last year,
Wow.
and then Instagram was right below it with like 680 something.
Huh.
Yeah, I was like, So anyway,
I'm not on TikTok.
you're
Weird
not
flex.
TikTok.
TikTok.
TikTok. Honestly, Jeff is only on it because he got tired of me sending him TikToks all the time, and so he just made an account so I could send him stuff. Even though I would just send him the actual video. I would
Yeah.
save it to my phone and then send it to him, but he didn't like that.
What's that from?
TikTok. TikTok.
Hunger Games.
Yeah. I was actually just watching it today.
Oh, you do watch those.
I
a lot.
literally do. I don't know why. It's just like
That's so random.
I'll just turn this on because it's for while I eat my food, and then after I'm done eating my food, I just turn it off and I do what I was doing.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's like Pride and Prejudice. It's like a comfort movie that I've seen like so many times that it doesn't even matter if I watch.
Trust me, I have a whole there's an app called Letterboxd, and it's for movie lovers that want to make lists of all their favorite movies, like me. And I have a list of like comfort movies, and people are like, that is the weirdest list I've ever seen. And I'm like,
Well, yeah, I
It is
ended
what it
up
is.
even buying. I actually just watched the first and second one. The third one I haven't seen as many times, mainly because I don't own it because I bought them on YouTube,
Oh.
and so I just watched. Like, I go from the first to the second, first to the second. Anyway, okay, tell me your guys' Allie, you
Do you
go
have-
with strengths and you go with weaknesses.
okay, deal.
I just like wrote a summary, but I have it pulled up.
I have it.
Hold up.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I have it. I have screenshots.
Okay.
Since we're the same personality.
Do you want like an overview of it, or just straight into like
Just
strengths?
read it. Just read it.
just strengths? Yeah.
Strengths.
Okay.
Just skip the overview.
Why is it doing this to me? Hold on. Why? Sorry. Come on. Okay. Strengths and weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
So, creative.
Yes.
Advocates aren't exactly like everyone else, and that's a wonderful thing. People with this personality type embrace their creative side, always on the lookout for opportunities to express themselves and think outside the box.
Very true for both of us.
Yeah, I'm
In
always
different
on the-
ways.
I'm always on the lookout. I don't have like the flashy, like here I am, like I can sing, I can dance, like creativity.
Mhm.
But like I'm always like, how can I like,
AKA
like-
podcast.
yeah,
gosh.
or like I have a blog I'm trying to do, and like I like to think of like word puns and
Or like the episode titles,
Yeah, yeah.
questionnaires that you send us.
Yeah.
I love those.
Natalie's in charge of all that stuff. Brilliant.
She's the writer, the creative writer in our group.
insightful. These personalities know all too well that appearances can be misleading. Advocates strive to move beyond superficiality and seek out the deeper truths in life. This can give them an almost uncanny ability to understand people's true motivations, feelings, and needs.
Yeah, I think that there was a question about like liking to read or watch things that you like the ending is different or something. It was something
yeah,
along
yeah.
those lines, and I was like, agreed.
Yeah.
I was like, that's literally all I read right now is like books with like crazy twists that are just like
Yeah.
so like left field, and I love that stuff. So yeah, I love that.
Yeah, but sometimes like, yeah, I mean, well, maybe we'll talk about this later, but like a lot of the careers was like counseling, therapist,
Which-
social
which-
worker, which I literally want to be a counseling social worker. So, but I was like, honestly, like I just, and that's partly why like I got into psychology is because I've always had that ability to just like,
Want to help
just
people.
like intuitively, I know what people are feeling. I didn't know how to help them, but I just could tell.
Yeah. No, like if I wasn't a photographer, I'd either be a Disney travel agent, which I was telling Heidi that on the way here. I'll show you why after. And a therapist. I just was always fascinated by like helping people. And I feel like that's why with what I do in photography, I feel that is being fulfilled in a way because boudoir can be healing for a lot of people. And so,
Yeah.
anyway, that's interesting though. Yeah.
Okay, I'll hurry and do my trivia, and then we can keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'm ready.
What sport has been played on the moon?
Soccer.
Frisbee, soccer, golf, bocce ball.
Golf.
I feel like it's bocce ball. It's so left field.
Wow. You're not sticking with your gut reaction of soccer? Golf.
I'm just like picturing soccer on the moon.
It'd be fun.
Soccer requires a lot of players. Let me just.
Yeah,
The golf.
true.
Come on. It's golf.
I'm
It
gonna
has
say
to.
I'm gonna say bocce.
It's golf.
Huh?
Wow. I'm
2 for 2.
2 for 2. Yeah. No, the reason why I think I thought of that was because I was thinking like the little like holes on the moon. And I was like, that would be
They
fun.
just like go up to the crater and they're just like, yeah, this is good. They like put a.
Yeah, maybe that's why they put the flag there.
Giant crater
The American flag was not actually for that. It was just for
with
golf.
the winning golf.
Yeah, it was for the whole.
It was a hole in one.
Just like
Apparently.
this ginormous
Funny.
crater, and then they just like hid it in there, and they're like, hole in one, let's go.
Oh
man. Okay.
Okay.
Let's keep going with the strengths.
Okay. So the next one was principled. Advocates tend to have strong beliefs and values, particularly when it comes to matters of ethics. When advocates talk about topics close to their heart, their conviction and heartfelt idealism can inspire and persuade even the sternest of skeptics.
Yeah, that's true for both of you.
I feel like also in different ways. Too. Like we're like the same outline, different
Fonts.
stuff. Yeah, different like body paragraphs.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
She's the beginning, you're the end.
no. Like we have the same intro and conclusion, same thesis statement, but we have different things. That, like,
Different points of view.
yes.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Okay,
I
the
see.
next one is passionate.
Ooh.
Advocates crave a sense of purpose in life. Rather than living on autopilot or sticking to the status quo, they want to chase after their ideals. This isn't a personality type that shies away from big dreams. In fact, advocates are energized and impassioned by the beauty of their visions for the future. I feel like you guys may not like see this a lot in me because I don't think I demonstrate it, but it is very much like a part of my thoughts and like
No, I see
my,
it in
like,
you.
Yeah.
You're very I guess like me too, just thinking about what you're doing, why you're doing it, and if it doesn't bring you the fulfillment that you want, then you're like
very
life sucks.
very
I hate
intentional.
myself. Yeah. 'Cause that's how I am. Like if I'm not doing anything purposeful, I feel like I'm just wasting time.
And I think that's why it's so hard for you
Yeah.
right now with like Colton doing everything that he's doing, and you have to kind of support him.
Yeah.
It's hard because you're not getting that outlet that you need
Mhm.
to like be yourself to like the fullest that you can.
Mhm.
And so it's like really frustrating for you.
Yeah.
So you've hit a wall and you're just like trying to punch through.
It is. There was something. Let me think if I can think of it. I don't know. It said something about like always looking for like improvement and like the next best thing. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, we don't sit still.
No,
Like
we
we'll hit our goal and then we'll be like, okay, what next?
Yeah.
Okay, what next?
And that's like
Yeah.
that was another thing it talked about. Like we don't find fulfillment or like success in like monetary things or like fame. It's more like if we're like helping people or like we're just feeling fulfilled in different things.
That's true.
Because like the last one is altruistic. People with this personality type aren't happy to succeed at another person's expense.
True.
Advocates want to use their strengths for the greater good, and they rarely lose sight of how their words and actions might affect others. In their heart of hearts, they want to make the world a better place, starting with the people around them.
Mm-hmm.
It's very true.
I agree. All right, let's get into the weaknesses. This is where I feel extremely called out. Because number one is sensitive to criticism, which is so true for me. I am the biggest perfectionist in some ways. And I actually took another test a long time ago called the strengths test. And one of the strengths was that, like, if I say a compliment or dish out criticism, it's sincere. Like, I'm not just handing out compliments to just anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Because when people do it to me, I feel like I take it to heart and I reflect and I'm like, okay, how can I not have them think of me in that way? And so, like, when I say things, it's intentional and genuine and sincere. And so, anyway,
You know, funny story with that. Sorry. So I work with kids, right, at this elementary school, and these two girls came up to me who are in speech, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, so and so is just so annoying." And then they like go off and they start telling me the reasons why she sucks and all these things. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, all right, is this really how I was when I was 10? But I was like, okay. I was like, well, she's also in your speech group, so we have to get along with her. And they're like, oh my gosh. And so like, finally, right before it starts, I was like, how about this? If you guys can be nice to her for this entire speech session and kind of just get over your feelings, I'll give you a prize. And they were just on board, okay? They were totally there for it. And, but then they like, we started playing this game. We started playing apples to apples. And we do it in a way where like we give the card to the judge, and then each person has to like advocate for themselves. So they have to be like, I chose this because it's most related by this, this, and this. Okay, so they have to like back up their reasoning. And so these girls are just like over here, just like picking hers every single time. And I was like, no, that's not what I meant. No. I was like, you don't have to be like a kiss up. You just have to be kind. Like play the game, but don't be like totally like involved with her and like totally fake about it. But I was like, I can't say that to them now. So I was like, whatever.
Oh, well, you tried.
I tried. And it kind of worked.
That's hard.
I mean, they were all happy. I didn't have to deal with anybody crying, so.
Well, what really struck me, though, when it was talking about sensitive to criticism is it talks about, like, when they feel like people are challenging their most cherished principles or values. And I'm like, that is 100% me. Like, if somebody's like that's the thing about us is I feel like we always relate it back to, like, what's important. And so if somebody's, like, for example, like, criticizing, like, my parenting or whatever, I could just be like, yeah, whatever, like, I parent differently than you. But, like, because parenting's so important to me, then I'm, like, my values, you know, and, like, my kids, and, like, it just, like, comes out, and I'm just like, no, and I just, like, start, you know. So I can totally see that. That is something that I definitely, like, try and work on, is, like, separating things, because I'm like, it's not an attack on my values, it's not an attack on me, it's just sometimes people do things differently, and you know what, maybe I can learn from that. And like, I really have to talk myself through it, because
no, same. Like, and it says on the end that people with this personality type can become defensive or dismissive when things like that happen. I'm dismissive. I shut down. Like we talked about this, I don't talk to people. If at some point in the conversation someone attacks something that I like really like, I just sit there and I'm like,
I know. And yeah, because for my personality, it says like, I'm always willing to give people second chances, but I'm also like, know the difference between a second chance and like when they don't deserve one, pretty much. But I'm always looking to give somebody a second chance, because like I know what it's like to mess up and things like that. But like with that personality, it's more just like you shut off, you just like don't talk to them. And you just like their opinion or their, you know, whatever they're saying is just doesn't matter to you guys.
It's not that it doesn't matter. It's just like, it's almost like a form of the criticism that we just cannot take. I feel like I say we because it's both of us. Because I call it the door slam. When I get offended or hurt or sad or whatever negative, I do what I just call the door slam. I slam the door figuratively, and I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to. I'm just like, oh, let's just drop it. Let's just drop it. Let's just drop it, because I'd rather dismiss it, not dismissing the person and their idea, just like drop the whole topic altogether, because I don't want to get into it. Because if I get into it, then I'll be like, really mean, and I don't want to be mean, because I'm also trying to look at and trying to help people, and I feel like that counteracts.
And because we always think about how our words are affecting people, and we never want to say something that we're going to regret later, and so we'd rather just not go there to put ourselves in that situation.
Exactly. And people are like, why don't you just talk about it? I'm like, no, it's fine. Like, it's fine when it's not fine. So anyway, that goes into the next point, which is reluctant to open up. That is me. I have to like, I used to be worse, to be fair, but I had to like be pulled out of this hole to like finally say things. Like, people have to drag it out of me in order to like for me to confront a situation. And that's a huge weakness. It says here, advocates value honesty and authenticity, but they're also private. They may find it difficult to open up and be vulnerable about their struggles, not wanting to burden someone else with their issues. That is 100%. I feel like I try to be very good about not showing my struggles, even though like I know that is something that a lot of people can relate to, or everyone can relate to. But it's really hard for me to like. I don't know about you.
It is very hard.
I think it also comes with.
Sorry, this was a different.
No, you're good. Being the middle child, the perfect child, according to my siblings, and like having just like that standard set from them, even though my parents never said anything about that. It was like, Kim, you're the favorite, you're the perfect child. And so like me trying to like, I don't know.
Wow, I totally relate.
No, I know we talked about this. Like we talked about how hard it is to like be that child, because like you're being attacked for something that like you just do, and then you want to keep that reputation almost, but you don't want to. It's like a weird like mental thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, the next one says avoiding or perfectionistic, which is true. And it says, while this is a wonderful quality in many ways, which I've been told by therapists before, it doesn't always leave room for the messiness of real life. Advocates might find it difficult to appreciate their jobs, living situations, or relationships if they're continually fixating on imperfections and wondering whether they should be looking for something better. That is me right now.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, you have a hard time just enjoying life if you're like, nah, this isn't perfect. Something needs to be better.
Yeah, the grass is always greener on the other side. It sucks. Yeah. Avoiding the ordinary. Advocates yearn to do extraordinary things with their lives, but it's hard to achieve anything extraordinary without breaking it down into small and manageable steps. Unless they translate their dreams to everyday routines. What happened? And to-do lists. That's me. Advocates may struggle to turn their grand visions into reality.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like this is us. And then last but certainly not least, prone to burnout. That is 1,000% true.
Yep. I burn myself out all the time.
Yeah, and it says here, people with this personality type can exhaust themselves if they don't balance their drive to help others with necessary self-care and rest, which is true.
Yep.
So, yeah, burnout is real for us. I actually just canceled, I haven't told anyone except Heidi and Michelle, the Costa Rica retreat.
You did?
Because I was like, it's more of a chore than something that I like enjoy or like want to look forward to. And it's probably because I haven't taken the time to take care of myself in the process. And so anyway, Heidi knows, I made the really hard decision. I was like, should I just do this? And I was like,
good for you though. Good for you for like,
it was a lot. And so like, but because I'm prone to burnout, I was like, I need to like really, because this year I was like, I need to learn how to take care of myself.
Yeah.
So I can take care of others, because that's my whole thing, right?
Yep.
And so, anyway.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I wish it were easy, but it's just like not.
It's not.
Because I'm like, I literally have to take care of two humans. Like, that is my job. And I want to take care of my husband too. But it's like, I just burn myself out and then I'm completely useless or a burden. And then I'm like, and then that's when I'm in like my deep hole, which I was, like last week. So,
well, I was reading about this and how, like, completely separate from this website, INFJs as business people. And someone like wrote in a comment on an article basically saying, I struggle with this because like, if I'm being a good mother, I'm being a bad businesswoman. If I'm being a good businesswoman, I'm being a bad mom. And I'm like, how the heck am I going to like find this balance when it comes to that point? Because I'm already struggling like as a wife.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if I'm focusing on Jeff and like our relationship, then my business is affected negatively.
Yeah.
And if I'm focusing too much on my business, then I'm not paying attention to him. And it's just like this vicious cycle.
Oh my gosh, I totally get it. Yeah. Like, you guys know, I've tried and failed multiple times to work being a mom. And I just can't do it because I want to be the star employee. But then if I'm the star employee, I'm not the star mom. And you just can't win. And it's just, awful. And so that's why, like, after all those experiences, I have to like always remind myself, like, I always just find myself like, what can I do? What job could I do? Right. Like, you know, and then I'm like, no, I have to remind myself that like, I can't do that. I can't go there. I want to work for myself. And that's partly why, like, I'm trying to work on my blog and stuff, trying to do something that's fulfilling that I can control, because I can't have somebody else relying on me, because it just drives me to bad places.
That's literally me. If I had to answer to someone, I would spiral, and I would, if I wasn't employee of the month, I would quit, because I'm like, what's the point?
Yeah.
So anyway, that comes with the perfectionistic side.
Yeah.
So
anyway, what's cool about this website is that there's like many different categories that it like tells you what your personality is like in each category. So for example, there's the introduction, which kind of goes around over all of it. And then there's strengths and weaknesses, which we just went over, romantic relationships, friendships, parenthood, career paths, and workplace habits. So like it kind of tells you what you need to look out for and what you excel in, and so it can help you with like if you're struggling to find a career that you want or something that you need in your life, it can kind of guide you in a way. But anyway, I know that we asked our significant others to do this test as well, and I wanted to. Did you guys take a screenshot of of the romantic relationship one
For ourselves?
For ourselves?
for them?
For them.
Oh, no.
I can get there.
I can find it. ISTJA.
Oh, but I wanted to point out something about myself with romantic relationships. It says adventurers are quite mysterious and difficult to get to know. While very emotional individuals, they guard the sensitive core carefully, preferring to listen than to express. They focus instead on their partners with little interest in dictating the mood of a situation with their own feelings. While this can sometimes be frustrating, if they are accepted for who they are, adventurers prove to be warm, enthusiastic partners. And then what's funny is on Wes's, he's a campaigner. I forget what it is. It's like E and something.
Really? No! We called this. I was like, what? Heidi was like, watch as Wes and Colt are the same thing. And I was like, I just know it.
We've said it before on this podcast so many times that they're so alike, and it's true. See, they have the same personality.
Yeah, I was telling Heidi though, I was just like complete hard eyes reading it because they're really just like, they're just like so sweet. Right? Like it is just like the sweetest personality.
Well, and then like I was gonna say, is like with his is like he wants to be accepted as well as he is, and like no matter how weird or whatever, but they also want to accept
they're
other
people pleasers too.
Yeah, which is the hardest part.
Yeah,
I think. But let me pull up his.
Jeff is a logistician, and what it says here.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah, no, his is like, and even just skimming through this really quickly before I even reading it. It's pretty accurate. So it says logisticians are dependable through and through, and this trait is clearly expressed when it comes to their romantic relationships. And then it says, while their reserved nature often makes dating logisticians challenging, they are truly dedicated partners willing to devote tremendous thought and energy to ensure stable and mutually satisfying relationships. I feel like that's probably a side of Jeff that I don't know if you guys notice or not, but like no matter what, I know his loyalty and dedication is to me. And that's something that it says for INFJs that I value a lot. So I'm like, as long as like we're both loyal and authentic and devoted to each other, it does, like, I mean, the other stuff, sure, it matters, but like, I would rather have someone that's dedicated to me than not, obviously.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really interesting. And it, like, just to read like the bigger bullet points, it says they're deeply committed, have a reliable heart, it says, while logisticians' state approach may seem boring to some, there is an undeniable attractiveness to it, though felt perhaps more by respect and admiration than emotional passion. Logistician shells hide a strong and quiet determination and reliability, rare among other personality types, which can benefit even the flightiest personalities, allowing them to stay connected to the real world while still exploring new territory.
That sounds like Jeff.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. With, the campaigner, it says, campaigners approach their relationships with the highest of ideals. They long to know and unconditionally accept everything about their partner, just as they long for that person to know and unconditionally accept them in return. So exactly what I was saying. But yeah, you
That's
go.
so sweet.
Yeah, they're just like outgoing, open-hearted, open-minded, but they're like also introspective. Like they can like self-reflect, and like they're very like conscientious in that, but yet they're still just like,
what's the letters for it?
ENFP.
Okay, I was gonna say, I think I read somewhere that that's the most compatible with an INFJ.
Really?
ENFP. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're just like super, like they don't hold back when they're in love. Like they will just like love wholeheartedly.
That's definitely both of
But
them.
they can feel insecure if they don't feel like it's at the same level, and they can be a little needy. And I was like, I was like, well,
like the moments when I'm not giving him like my attention, he just like gets in his head, and he's just like, does she not want to sit by me? Does she not want to do this with me? Does she not love me anymore? And then it's literally just like, I didn't think about it. And then he's like literally this happened to us last night. Sunday night. He was like, I didn't sit by him, and it was just because it was an open chair and it was close to the game that we were playing. And he was like, in his head and
they
all, like,
read too
upset.
much into things.
They read too much into like the like what's happening, and so he's like all upset that I wasn't sitting by him, but he wasn't telling me anything, and I didn't know. And I just sat down, and then he was like, I just gotta stop being in my head. And so he's like, I just gotta tell her that like I want her to sit by me, and then he did, and then I went and sat by him. So it was like it's not something that I think of, but like I definitely need to be more aware of.
Yeah.
Because they do get in their heads and they get insecure.
That's interesting because Jeff, I feel like, is the opposite. Like, I can literally be so mad at him.
And he like doesn't even notice.
Doesn't even know. Or like the opposite where like he thinks I'm mad when I'm literally just watching a movie. He's like, are you mad at me? No? Are you sure? Because you're acting weird. I'm like, I'm just watching a movie, Jeff.
But
it says that in here. It says a lot of children are not naturally receptive to others' emotions, not unless they are stated clearly. And a partner usually only says I'm angry when it's too late to address the initial grievance.
Yeah.
That's me. So we're just a great mixture.
No.
So no, it helps me though. Like, I will say this, something I've learned with Jeff is that and this is probably why our communication has been so on point recently, I have to say how I feel for him to like grasp it. He doesn't read body language, doesn't read the room. It's just like, it's more logical. He's very much this logistician mentality of like, I think it said, I want to know what the percentage was for that versus like feeling, or like thinking versus feeling. Because when I saw that, I was like, yeah, you're very much the thinker and I'm the feeler.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I don't. It's really hard to tell because with my job, I have to teach people these like communication skills and these like body language skills, like how to read non-verbal social cues.
Right.
So like the body language where people are upset, I have to teach them like, okay, if somebody's going like this and they have like this like angry look on their face, what do you think they are thinking and things like that, or like if they're like just like this, or you know, like
it's
are they
hard
bored,
to teach,
you know,
because it's just something so just like intuitive.
But at the same time, it's like, is it just their personality? So that's where I'm like, am I teaching them like? But that's the thing is like, I tell them, I'm like, okay, what do you know about social cues? Like, what can you tell me? He's like, I'm like, what do you need to have like a good communication like with somebody? And they're like, okay, yeah, you face the person, you look them in the eyes, you ask questions, you are attentive, like you're an attentive listener. They know all those things, but they just don't do it because they don't want to. So it's like hard to get that balance of like, okay, they know this, there's nothing else I can teach you.
Yeah.
So it's really
knowing and doing, or
so it's like that's the thing. It's like, is it their personality or is it just they are too lazy to do it?
Well, sorry, I have to explain myself every time I bring up astrology. It's a kind of an insecurity because I know people are like, okay, Kim, they probably think I'm like a hippy dippy person, but I do like to relate religion, science, and everything to each other, and even like the pseudosciences. But correct me if I'm wrong. Wesley and Colton are Cancers. Yeah. Cancer signs are known for being very like sensitive, not only to their own emotions, but to others. And like, they are the most water sign of the water signs, meaning like they are the most sensitive and emotional of the water signs. Like, water signs are known for like
being sensitive,
being fluid with their emotions and sensitive. And I that's why when you guys like compare, I'm like, I'm sorry, I had to bring up astrology because like they're both Cancers, and aren't they both July Cancers? Yeah. Which also like plays.
They're literally a week apart.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh, is he
He's the 9th.
The 9th. Okay.
And he's the 17th.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I'm just saying, I'm not to be that person every time, but I will be that person every time. Because like I'm over here just like, wow, that's so cool that they're the same personality type. And the same like sign, and so I don't know.
They should be friends because it like breaks my heart because like talking about campaigners, they want those deep relationships. Like they are not satisfied with just like the superficial relationships, but they are the people that are outgoing and have like a ton of like acquaintances and friends.
Oh, interesting.
But they don't go like deep; they go wide. But they want those deep relationships, and that is totally Colton. I hope he doesn't mind that I'm sharing this, but like he wants friends. He just like it's just hard to like find people to do that with, and he's always struggled with, and I think always will, with feeling like he cares about people more than they care about him. And It just breaks my heart. Like, he literally told me, he's like, yeah, besides like you and my mom, he's like, I feel like I have to work for everybody else's love. And I was like,
Are you kidding? Cameron adores him.
Are you kidding me?
but like,
Cameron and Jeff are fighting over him.
but
Yes,
like
or on
Colton,
Sunday.
but like Colton has to put in the work, you know.
Yeah.
Colton reaches out to Cameron. I don't know that Cameron reaches out to Colton. I don't know.
Something
but-
about the Hall men is they don't reach out.
Yeah. But that's the thing. He doesn't have like a friend that will like
Mm.
consistently reach. He's always the one
That's
that
Jeff,
has to
too.
instigate things and reach out. And
We got to connect the boys, because I always say too to Heidi, I feel like Wesley is just like this large combination of all the men in our
He has
family.
a personality of he can literally get along with anybody,
It's true.
That's Colton.
It's-
but he doesn't necessarily want to get along with everybody.
That's
It's
also
like he
fair.
can, but it's like he chooses who he kind of wants to be with. But like he can be nice, he can be kind, he can talk to people.
Yeah.
It's just more of like I don't want to be best friends with this person, but I'll be nice to that person.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah.
But I feel like he has like different facets of like even Jeff's
Yeah.
personality
No,
and Cameron's
Wes
personality.
has said it time and time again. He's like, I like Jeff. He's like, I wouldn't mind being his friend, like talking with him, and,
Like
getting
outside
to know
of
him.
this.
Yeah, outside of like us hanging out, like
Yeah.
all together. But I don't know. I think he's just. I don't know. Right now, we're kind of in our honeymoon phase, so it's like kind of makes sense.
Yeah, Jeff was like, were we like that? And I was like, probably, or probably not, because I'm a very private person.
Yeah.
I don't like to show, I don't like to do PDA all the time, because I don't want to be that couple that's making out in the movie theater popcorn line.
Yeah.
And then it's like, hello, you're next.
We literally said to each other, we were like hugging or something, and I was
As
like,
you do.
oh my gosh, we're that person, we're that couple.
You are. Right now,
I
yeah.
hate myself right now.
No, yeah, Jeff's like,
man.
were we like
But that's why I like it says when campaigners are interested in someone, they rarely hold back. People
give it
with
their
this
all.
personality type tend to fall in love easily and they fall hard. Campaigners shower their new flame with affection, trusting that the devotion and passion that they feel are real. So they just go with their feelings.
You know what
and
else
it's
is
so
cute? That is totally like Colton and I are together because of this. It says many campaigners feel drawn to befriend the shy and reserved. Colton literally was like, "Oh, there's a girl reading some books," and came up and talked to me when I was in like the shyest of shy of my life. And then we became friends.
That's cute. Yeah.
That is so cute. I'm looking up how INFJ and ISTJ get along, so I can know the compatibility.
Let's see. Optimistics at heart. Campaigners are undaunted by the practical challenges and inconveniences of a new partnership.
But they also like dream super big and they like get excited by ideas, but then they'll kind of like steam out. They don't
Yeah.
have like the, I guess, like persistency to like keep at something when they've like kind of lost that initial like enthusiasm. And I was like, wow, that sounds so familiar.
I wonder where I've seen this
Because
before.
like he has all these things he wants to do. He has the biggest heart. He wants to help so many people. He wants to do so many things. When it like comes to actually doing it, he just steams out. And then I'm like, "Okay, come on!" And he's like, "Yeah,
Oh yeah, one thing is they're excellent communicators, which I definitely agree with because
Yeah, you
Wesley
guys have always
is
had that.
always talking to me
Yeah,
about how
Colton.
he feels, and like he's always like, I just need you to tell me what you're thinking because he's like, I can't read your mind, even though I don't really feel like I hide anything. It's just like I just in my head, and then he's like, "You're mad at me." I'm like, "I'm not mad at you," but it's like one of those things where he's taught me how to communicate better.
Oh,
Where
yeah,
like
100%.
if I am unhappy and it's something that he can fix, then I try and let him know and be like, I don't appreciate this. I don't like when you said that. Then he's immediately like, oh, okay, how can I change that? Like, how can I get better at this? And he immediately changes. It's, of course, he can, mess up, but like, it's one of those like immediate changes that I really appreciate because then I know he's serious. And I love it.
I mean, I've told you this before about your relationship, that it's very interesting how quickly you guys were able to get that part of your relationship down. Because for a lot of people, it's the opposite. It's like communication, you learn it when you're already, like when you're married, and the first year of marriage is known to be the most difficult because of learning how to balance out your values, and also not only that, but the communication. And you guys, I told you this, like, I really admire that part of your relationship. Because from the start, you guys have had really difficult conversations.
Oh yeah,
And
from the very beginning.
Yeah.
I think that's how we were able to get together so fast and then get engaged so fast as we did, because we did know each other for a long while before we even started dating, but it was more of just like a friendship type thing. And then like, but from the very beginning, he was very open to me about some of the past things that he has experienced and just like things that he doesn't want in a relationship.
Yeah.
And they just kind of lined up with what I didn't want. And so it was just a really easy thing to just like jump into.
Yeah.
Like when they say that they fall in love fast and they fall hard, 100% true. Like I'm about to like out myself, but we told each other that we loved each other after like 2 weeks of dating.
Yeah, I remember.
So it was like, it's just one of those things where we knew it and we just went into it. So
I remember, and there was one time where he said "love you" to you, and you came to our apartment afterwards. You're like, "What does it mean?" And I was like,
yeah, it was like a day after he asked me to be his girlfriend. He
Yeah.
told me that, and I was like, "What? What is happening?"
"Yeah." You like came over and like we were psychoanalyzing the words. As we were picking them.
Yeah, not me completely shutting Colton down in high school because he told me when we were 17 he wanted to marry me, and I was like, "We're 17."
You're like, no. No, he was patient. He knew.
So many times I was like,
Yeah.
Are you sure you don't want to just like date other people and
He's
see?
like, no.
And he's just like, no, I
I swear, I come up with something new that like is just an ick for me every day, and I like he like does it, and I'm like, I don't like that, and he's like, all right. He just kind of like he's just kind of very patient with me, and he's just like, why? And he's like, I literally did this and this, which are very similar, but that doesn't bother you. I'm like, no. He's like, so this bothers you? I was like, yeah. It's just, I don't know. There's so many things wrong with him.
Heidi
Like,
has a lot of quirks,
He's so
but
patient with me, and he's just amazing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Wesley's in it for the long haul because, like, you've shown him all the sides
I've
of you.
shown him a lot of bad sides of me, and he just takes it very well.
Yeah. No, he does. I've seen it. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm like, you know what? Like, that's
So
what Heidi needs.
I do. It's definitely that, I accept him as he is, and he accepts me as I am, and it's just kind of we have to grow together and continue to communicate.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
And most importantly, he gets along with us, and that's all we care about.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, he sent me was it a TikTok? He sent me a TikTok.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, he was like, I think I should send this to your sisters, and I was like, do it.
I didn't
Oh, yeah,
understand why he sent it. I don't even remember what it was, but I was like, did he mean to send this?
Yeah, you're like, did he send it to any of you guys? I'm like,
But I was
yeah,
like,
it's me.
also like touched. I was like, oh, he sent me something.
I know, was it on Sunday?
Because like that's
Last
totally like
Sunday.
Colton, where he's like, oh, this reminded me of this person. I'm gonna like tell them that, or like
Yeah.
send them this.
Like Colton, one time when I was living in Logan, he texted me out of the blue. He doesn't text me, and so I was like, what the? So I like open it, and he's like, I got you a gift, but it's a surprise. And I was like, okay.
Aw.
He's like, when are you coming down? And I was like, probably next month sometime. So I come down. He
Oh,
literally
yeah.
got me this like poster of like Avatar: The Last Airbender with all the characters on it, and I love it. I think it's an amazing gift because like it's exactly something that I would get myself.
Yeah.
And like he thought of it, he saw it, and he thought of me, and so he got it. And then there was another time where he was at the store and he saw this Kinder Egg. I haven't forgotten. Okay, there's like this Kinder Egg candy, and inside are like little like prizes or whatever, and it was frozen. And so he saw it, and he was like, "I think Heidi would like this." And so
Yeah.
he got it, and he gave it to me.
He's very good at that.
He's
Because,
just
like,
very
he'll send me, I'm just going to scroll through all the reels that he sends. Like, he sends me at least one every week, and like no context, just no message, just the reel. And so I know I have to like watch it. So I watch it, and I'm like, oh, that was actually funny. Like, he thought of me in like that split second and was like, Kim would like this. Send.
Yeah. So it's that same thing with the reels. Maybe you won't understand them, but he thought of you guys, and he was like, I think they'll find it funny.
No, I did. I just was like
I don't
so
remember,
caught off
did I
guard.
actually watch it? Maybe I didn't like turn up the volume because I was in church or something.
Oh yeah, it was on a Sunday.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was like, cool.
I need to like rewatch it.
It was
Anyway.
it was this one. If it pops up,
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You have to listen to that one. That's like he honks the horn, and it's like a boop,
And then he goes,
boop boop.
yeah. I actually remember
He
that.
just every time he watches that one, he dies laughing. It's so funny.
I love that. Thanks for listening to Discussions. Follow us on Instagram at Discussions Podcast and slide into our DMs to tell us what you would like to hear on the show. Tune in next week for another episode with your favorite sisters.